Good day, this is Jimmy. Getting back on old Monte Carlo today. Gonna do a floor pan video, replacing some floor pans. Not trying to blind you with that light, but just a little more of what we run into when we try to bring something back to life. Like I say, this is, I think we named this thing together the Golden Toy, the old 1970 Monte Carlo. I'm gonna go on and flip this camera around if I can. Get us down into here. Good looking old car. Coming right along, going on the inside of it. This is I called it the Golden Toy because it seems like I'm always playing with it. Showing you a process we're going in here. On some of the places we had some new panels, and some of the places we didn't. We're not trying to break the bank on this car, so I'll show you where some of that came from. The first thing I did, I built me a paper template. You see that chalk on there. I built me a paper template, laid it in there, took that paper template, cut me 2 pieces of metal because I've got the same problem on both sides, but I cut me 2 pieces of metal and I laid them in there, kind of fine-tuned them a little bit more where I wanted them. Notched it where I could lay it down in there. Gonna show you on the other side when I pin it down. And made some little relief cuts and got it where it would go down in there. Nice and solid. Now I may put some templates, I may put something in there to stiffen that up, but that's pretty thick stuff. Now this is under the back seat. It's not the only problem I have in this car. That's one of them. Just showing this side. I've got the other side a little bit further, a little bit more tied down. I used my Clicos to pull it down. Now, in the curves of the body, you run into things like this, and really all along, the main thing that you want to have is more support. Now, we could put a whole panel in here, and we may even add more. Well, what we want to do first is begin to build structure. So I'll cut this. I broke it. I put a couple little places to weld it to build that structure. Probably go in here and make us another paper template to reinforce that corner. But I'll weld that in. See what we got. When you put the welder to it, you kind of realize what you got. Now all this has been sandblasted, so these holes weren't even in here before the sandblast, and the sandblaster really lets you know what you've got. So I'm going to put this one in. I got the other side a little bit closer. Let me go on over there. All right, now I showed you on the other side how we use the template. We cut our pattern, we pushed it down. So, well, that's not covering all the rust. No, it's not covering all the rust. We have to have some sort of a structure going. Now I drilled those holes, I pushed it down, I put the Clicos in, which pull the 2 panels together tightly, preparing for a weld. I cut the rust out underneath it, and I ran into a lot of structural issues here. Maybe not what we would call structural issues, but not rust. And we don't have a new floor pan. So what we're doing, I came in here and back that up a little bit. I put my curves in. I'm reinforce those curves. They got damaged. All right. And we're going to come back in here after all this is welded in solid. And we're going to, just like we did this, we're going to make a piece for this. But we're going to cut a template. We're going to cut some smaller templates for these corners to reinforce that. Probably come back with a new video on the next process. Just wanted to put you where I'm at with the golden toy here. Placing some floor pans. And the process would be make the template, cut the piece. Don't let it overwhelm you. You can only do so much. Put that plate down in there. Cut out the rust. Pull it down tight. Clicos is a very good process to use. You could have ran it down with screws just as well. But the Clicos pulls the two panels together. But the paper template, the Clicos, need a metal. I always like to go just a little bit stronger. I think the car probably had 19 gauge. This is 18 gauge. Hold the structure. If you cut everything out and you just have a mess, you hold the structure. Put your curves in. Always when you see these problems, go on and put your curves in before you start cutting out stuff. Go on and cut your template. Make your overlay before you start cutting out stuff. When I weld this piece in, and I weld those pieces in, and I make that template, and I make that curve right there, I can pick that piece up, and I can remove that. But until that, if I just started cut it all out and laying something in, we wouldn't get the contour, the back seat wouldn't fit, and we wouldn't, the strength is in the curves. So as we put that in, we're holding our integrity for this rust repair. This is not a changing parts. This is putting the integrity back in the car. This is under the back seat. There's a lot of cars you can't even get these parts for. I don't know about this particular one. This was a 2-year run, I think, for this particular car, but there may be some things that change out. But as you go, you can continue to buy things, and you can have a new car, or you can have an original car and make some repairs. Now, here we go with the golden toy. One day we're gonna get all the structure going and get into some finish work. But you always got to start by resurrecting the bones. Thank you for watching this video. Old Path Fabrication. Like and subscribe. As I say, thank you for watching. God bless you.